So I wanted to talk today a little bit about people's reactions to what's been going on. I'm currently in a position where kind of things have started to settle in terms of clocks falling off walls, phones breaking, things like that. It's kind of got much quieter. I think I'm managing to kind of control it a little bit more and basically telling myself internally, like my internal dialogue is, wait till I can understand a bit more about what's going on and, to communicate with spirits or whatever it is I'm going to be doing. And it kind of seems to have quietened down a little bit, which is good. So I'm not really comfortable telling people what's happened because I just don't think that, I think I'll get a lot of negativity. I think there'll be a lot of skepticism. I think people will try and convince me that there's a logical explanation, but having gone, no one knows what we've gone through except for us. And I know you can explain certain things, but there's just too much that's happened so quickly. But even my other half, who is the eternal skeptic, atheist, even he realizes there's something there. But it's the whole, your mind tells you there's nothing there, and then your gut, there is. So by telling people I know all I'm going to get, because all my friends and family and pretty much non-believers, I think they will always come up with a rational explanation for what's been happening, as I would if I was in their position. So I just don't need that. I don't need, I've gone through this. I know what I know. I know what I feel. And I just want to explore. I'm going to be sensible with it. I'm not going to believe everything that I hear. I've already had one lady talk to me about, she said a few things that didn't really sit well with me. And actually I kind of researched what she was talking about, and I'm just not comfortable with what she was talking about. I totally respect her belief in it, but it's just not something that I'm drawn to, and in all honesty, I just don't believe it. And so I've got I've got a sensible head on me. I'm not stupid. So I'm going to just explore and see what sits comfortably with me, basically. So I haven't told anyone particularly. Obviously, the direct family know. So me, Drew, or Daddy to you, you and Thomas. And then obviously people like, I've spoke to, like I said, I've spoken to a couple of mediums and things, so they obviously know, but no friends or family particularly know. The only person, when I went to see when I spoke to the mediums, and there was this message coming through for Auntie Liz. I ended up speaking to Mum about it. My mum about it, and she was nice. She was really sweet about it, but obviously doesn't really think there's much in it. And she was very much, they were worried it's gonna upset Auntie Liz, but again, I'm not, I wasn't gonna go in all guns blazing. It was going to be very simply, I had a reading with a medium and this is what they said. And in fact my sister, Auntie Sarah, gave some really good advice. She said when you go and see Auntie Liz to say you'd had a reading, and to say that there was a message for Auntie Liz, and to say to Auntie Liz, would you like to hear it? Give her the option, don't force it on her. So I did that, and actually Auntie Liz was really nice about it. So obviously I've told Mum and Sarah, and they were kind of freaked out by it and a bit unsure about it, but they were nice enough. But it's obviously developed from there. It's gone from having all these weird things happening in the house to actually I'm going to be doing, exploring this myself. So they were kind of supportive because I was freaked out and I was doing everything I could to get rid of it. But now it's like, oh, this is staying. So yeah, basically Mum's reaction has been, she's a real she avoids any kind of conflict, so she's kind of supportive, but I know she's a bit like, oh, here we go kind of thing. I think she just thinks, I don't know, it's just a fad or something, I don't know. But she's always very supportive, and I appreciate that. But I think I think she's actually more worried that I'm being conned, that stuff's gone on, and then people, it's got me scared, and then people fed into that fear. Um, but I know that that's not the case. I know, I had these two mediums. One lady obviously came. I contacted her. She came here, so you could potentially Google it or what have you. Um, you know, but the second medium gave exactly the same reading. He, didn't know. I didn't know I was going to the church. He didn't know I was going to the church. I wasn't even sat near him. I was sat at the back, so it wasn't even like he could, read me or anything like that. He just knew. There's too much saying like about Albert and just loads of things. He describes dad's my dad's gran as well. Apparently, she always had her hair scraped back in a bun and things. There were things like that. Everything. There was relevance to everything that he said. So I know that I'm not being conned. I know that they, and I kind of get, and with the work that I do, I have to be able to read people, to go with my instinct on who is sort of, stuff and who is being honest. So I know that they're being genuine, but I think that's where Nanny's concerns come in, and I can understand that, but I'm not one to be easily duped. So she's been supportive. And then I spoke to Auntie Sarah, and she, bless her, she is so supportive, but she's scared. She's scared that I'm going to dabble with something that is going to end up being, like a demon or something negative. She's worried about something negative happening. But every single person said every step of the way, there's nothing negative. It's just attention seeking. And again, I feel that I don't feel like there's anything negative. So all I can do is try and protect myself. And I've done a lot of reading. I'm very, kind of, if you're a happy, positive person, you're more likely to attract happy, positive, spirits. So I'm making a real effort to be like that, basically. And yeah, and kind of, I'm also putting a lot of at night time especially. I'm, putting kind of restrictions on, saying I don't want to see anyone, in my room in the night. I don't want anyone in the kids' rooms in the night. Like I said, imagining us in like a big ball of golden light. So I'm doing everything I can really to make it as positive as possible. But I think the training will help certainly, put Sarah's mind at rest. But the kind of feeling, in all honesty, is that I'm completely alone. Daddy is, he's so sweet, he's so supportive. He's so uncomfortable with this whole thing. And I can talk to him, a lot about it, but he's just not comfortable. So this is my journey. This is, I'm having to I'm going to have to make, new friends that can relate to this, that I can talk to, about all this stuff, so that I don't, upset people, because that's basically what it feels like. It feels like I'm upsetting everyone because I'm making it, because it was what Daddy says, he's being forced to question his beliefs. He decided a long time ago that he was atheist, and that certain things were certain ways, and this thrown everything into question, and he doesn't like it. He's happy and he's comfortable in his life. He didn't ask for this change, neither did I. But whereas I've kind of had to embrace it, he's still in denial. So I'm having to be careful with what I say to him. And actually, just talking to, the camera actually really helps. It's nice to be able to vocalise stuff that I can't talk about at the moment, because it's upsetting too many people. I've only told Mum, Sarah, and Drew, and every single one of them has, in their own way, got quite upset about it. They're all being really supportive and understanding, but they are upset, and I understand that. So I don't want to. It's getting the balance between pushing forward with stuff that I know I need to do, and making sure that I'm considerate. We had a day yesterday. very strong pain in my chest there. Very, very strong feeling in the presence. Really strong, with weight in my chest. Very strong. Just describe. I get these. This is one of the things I'm learning. Is I get very. I get a feeling when I know that. I don't even know if it's something like a scrutiny on me, or if they're trying to communicate with me, or what. The pain's gone, but there's the lingering. Crazy, because I don't know. I don't know if I'm listening to see if there's anything. I heard a bang somewhere. It almost sounded like a gate slamming, but in the house. But this is the fear. I mean, this is the fear. This is the This is what scares me. I don't know if this is someone, trying to communicate, or if I don't know. I don't know how to. It's like I can hear something, but I don't know what the message is. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going through. This is what I'm going through, and I'll be like talking through, and this happens. Like I'll get something like this, and I'll get this like almost like a cloud of there's something here, and then it'll go, and I'm like, and it's hard to get on with life as normal when to just maintain a conversation because it's weird, and if I'm talking to Drew and that happens and I can see in his face, bless him, he's like he wants to be in denial. He wants to be in denial. That's the impression today. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. I think, I've kind of been a bit distracted. The general message is, for people who don't, who aren't aware of this whole spiritual world, they don't want to know, basically, and I don't want to know. If I had the choice, I would go back to how things were and not knowing, just assuming, that I was religious, but just assuming this kind of thing doesn't happen, but it does, and it is to me, and I don't know where it's going to take me, but I don't think it's negative. I'm gonna explore it and see what happens. It's interesting. It's something on camera, so I've got a bit of reference. So I will keep